Now, what do we need to do to jumpstart the economy and create jobs?
Well, that's a tough question. All the eyes upon you to figure out how do you going to jumpstart the economy. Here's the dilemma. The job machine is broken. Business is not hiring. You probably can tell from your own experience. We have the highest unemployment rate in America. Our economy is not growing, it's stagnated. The import has been surging. The export has been stagnated. And the business has close to about $2 trillion on their balance sheet. But because of the uncertainty, because of the fact the market is unsettled, they're not willing to invest. However, business have their own gripes and grievances and concerns. I feel that in this administration, as well as the Congress, as well as all the talking head that we have on the TV shows, they all have to say, stop bashing the Wall Street, stop demonizing the business, but the business needs to step up and create jobs. Mm-hmm. And there's this theory that I see in Washington that by giving out the check to the consumer, which they call the consumer consumption, will favor the growth in economy, is far from the truth. This is not right. It's the individual investor, people like me, who will create the jobs in America, and we got to find a way to help them to create a job. Mm-hmm. And that means we need to remove the boundaries and the barriers that the small business or any business have in order for them to create a job. So here are some of the specific thinking we can do to jumpstart the economy. Number one, we talked about the small business, which was a machine that creates a lot of jobs. We need to give more lending power to the small business community. As a matter of fact, we want the big bank as well as the community bank to start lending them so they can go out and create some jobs. That's number one point. Number 2 points that I believe that because the economy is too fragile and feeble, it is important to extend the Bush tax cut for 2 years, regardless of the middle class or the people who earn more than $250,000. So I'm talking about extending it for everyone. Here is, I probably have a little bit difference of opinion with the Congress and the Democratic Party, but I am a business person. I believe we got to do the right things. Number 3, we need to extend the Bush, not only Bush tax cut we talk about. Number 3 is we need to give a payroll tax holidays for the employees and the employers. So the employers will go out and hire more people and keep the people on the payrolls. So that will create jobs. Number 4, we need to export more of our products and services to the other foreign countries. As the president said that we need to double our exports in State of the Union address, and I'm all for it because that will create jobs. And then I will make the next point that we need to reform our corporate taxes in such a way that allows the American manufacturers to buy U.S. products. So they need to build the plants domestically, and we got to stop sending jobs to overseas, and we should be proud of once again of Made in America. We should also reform our corporate tax policies in such a way that encourages and provides incentive to the American companies to bring jobs back from the overseas to America. We also need to work on education because today's students will create tomorrow's job.
Yes.
As you probably know, education is a key ingredient of economic success. Education provides upward mobility. Once again, we need to become we need to encourage students to have a college degree, to go to school.
Absolutely.
We need to encourage them. And the last thing is we need to spur investment into renewable energy, which is the solar, wind, power, thermal, and the other types of energy, and also the medical technologies. And the last thing that I would like to make, that I believe that our corporate taxes are too high against the industrial world. We need to lower that. We need to become a country of job growth and growth. And somehow we are not doing that.
Well, certainly with your involvement in all these committees, and especially through this interview, I'm sure what you say is definitely going to be taken to heart and mind with good positivity. But going on a different note here now, you have donated $300,000 to $400,000 for many candidates, who Democratic and Republican. What sparked your interest in politics? What was that initial spark? What keeps you going?
What keeps me going?
In politics.
Politics. Well, we as an Indian American have never been involved in the politics. We have the responsibility and we have a role to play in shaping the America's future. So if we don't get involved in the politics, we will not be able to have our voices heard. So as a result of that, I encourage all the people, regardless who they are, to get involved in the politics, to get involved with the primary campaign, the finance campaign. If you don't get involved, we will never be successful. So for the last 4 or 5 years, and I have seen many of the Indian community have gotten engaged and involved and being informed with politics and making a campaign, the what you call the money to the individual candidates, and that has helped. That has helped a lot. So it's very, very important for us to be engaged in politics. So that's what sparked my interest. And also I like politics. Politics is very, very important. And it's a privilege to live in a democracy.
Absolutely.
We are at a crossroad in America. We live in a pivotal period. We need to make a difference. And each and every individual can make a difference.
Exactly. Now, I had visited your website, AsianOcean.com, as well as the books, renewingtheamericandream.net, and on that, you and your co-authors of the book had, written some thoughts on the Tea Party movement. Would you mind telling us a little about what your thoughts are on that, the Tea Party movement?
It's a hot topic right now.
It is. Just a few thoughts on it.
Well, it was a good question. The Tea Party has ignited the passion among the conservative Republican. But there's a civil war between the moderate Republican and the conservative Republicans, and you saw that into with Christine O'Donnell's and Mike Castle in Delaware, and you also saw that as a matter of fact in Nevada with Sharon Angel with Majority Leader Harry Reid. And I'm not here to bash those two candidates, but I tell you one thing: that I like the Tea Party movement. Because I like less government, that's a great idea, less taxes, individual responsibility, and personal liberty. Those are the good points. They got to come up with a specific and sensible solution to move America forward, which means creating a global competitiveness for America. We got to be competitive in the marketplace in the world so we can sell our products and services. We need to focus on our vision of how do we create jobs, how do we put back the middle-class America that has suffered a lot in this economy back on the track so they can have a job, so they can have a house, they can send their kids to the college, and so on and so forth. And this is what I think they lack in terms of their vision. But I do like them, what they have been able to do in terms of the movement. We will see what happens after the midterm elections.
We'll see what happens.
And how effective they're going to be. But they definitely have energized and polarized the Republican Party.
Yes, definitely.
And I know this, that as a result of that, the Republican will go to vote. What the Democrats need to do is to mobilize their core constituency, which is the young voters like yourself, and also the minorities and the women. They have a tough job ahead of them.
They do. Well, we'll see what happens.
We'll have to wait and see. But I would like you to go vote.
Of course.
You must participate in a democracy.
Absolutely.
It's a privilege to vote.
Yeah. And final question now. What does now your future hold for you, and what are your final thoughts?
My future looks very bright because I will continue to write, and because writing the book has been a great privilege for me, and I really learned a lot. And so my next thing will be to write another book, and I'm not really sure what that book would be.
Well, we'll look forward to it.
Maybe my life story. But my final thoughts are on that all of us have a role and responsibility to shape America's future. An American dream is still possible if we have the desire, drive, and the discipline.
Yes.
But the American dream should not be promised to the few. It should belong to all Americans. In addition to that, I do believe very strongly that if we work together for shared goals to revitalize America and also to renew America, because I believe very strongly that we are a country of dreamers and doers.
Yes.
And Americans are strong, vibrant, and resilient. I'm confident if we all work together, America's best days are ahead of us, not behind us.
Absolutely. Mr. Islam, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
You're most welcome.
You know, if you want to know more about our guest, please visit ffislam.com and more about the book, renewingthedream.net. So check those out, guys, and thank you so much for your time.
You're most welcome.
Thank you for joining us on ITV. Stay tuned because Imagination is up next.